Buenos dias from the beautiful city of Popayan in the department of Cauca, and we're still in Colombia. I had to visit this city because this city is known as the White City. And it's quite obvious because all of the buildings are basically painted in white. What I can say, this city is entirely different from all the other cities that I've been to in Colombia. It's very quiet. There isn't any music, no salsa, no merengue, no type of Latin American music at all. Everyone are just on their way to work or to whatever they want to do, and they're just keeping to themselves. Interestingly, while walking around this part of the town, I was communicating with some of the locals, and I was advised that I shouldn't go to the north, I shouldn't go to the south, I shouldn't go to the east, and I shouldn't go to the west, at least 5 or 6 kilometers from here, because it's dangerous. Now, I don't want to be out of place and say anything that I might be wrong, but as far as I understand, this area is still controlled by the FARC.
Guerrilla fighters skirmish with advancing Colombian soldiers. An hour passes and the FARC column just melts away. The Colombian government says the rebel group is in its death throes after killing its top military commander, known as Jorge Briceño, in a bombing raid last September.
We know perfectly well where the army is, so we set the conditions for the fight. The art of guerrilla warfare is choosing the terrain and deciding when we can fight.
And what is also quite evident is that there are graffitis painted all over the white walls of the buildings. And it has made it quite unique, but also quite ugly, so to speak. I think the government should at least try to do something, but then again, that probably cause some type of confrontation as well. There are gang signs and statements about rape and all these kind of crazy things, which is quite unfortunate because Popayán seems to be quite a beautiful city. So the walk continues. So if you guys notice, there are more and more graffiti all over the walls. I guess perhaps this has now become part of the culture because it seems to be here for quite some time, and if it's been there for some time, then clearly the government isn't doing anything about it. So on both sides of the streets, and this goes on forever. Nothing quite like a morning sun, right? It feels so refreshing. Straight ahead, I can see a bridge. And I remember reading on a brochure at the hotel that there's a bridge called Puente Humillado, or something along that line. So again with the graffiti. I'm going to take a walk up. So this bridge has conflicting stories. As far as I understand, it was built in 1873 by the rich persons who would have lived in this land, and it was a form of humiliating the poorer people, as they would walk along the top of the bridge and they would look down onto the poorer or enslaved community. I don't know how true that story is, but the other side of the story is that Simon Bolivar and the other guy, Caldas, they had several confrontations with the Spanish at this very spot. I can imagine what it looked like during the time of Simon Bolivar. As we go lower down, we see that it's a little bit more of a homeless presence. No evidence of drugs or that kind of activities, but it does look a little bit more dismal. Less people along the streets. Perhaps it really is dangerous. So we continue along these type of pathways. Buenos dias.
Buenos dias.
That's still very much held up its integrity. This is a nice little river pathway. ¿Ustedes son de aquí? Sí, sí, ¿tú?
No. ¿Speaking English?
¿Tú hablas inglés?
No, yo no.
Sí, sí.
¿You speak English? ¿You speak English o qué? ¿Speak English?
So this is where the guys would come and smoke their little reefer. Kept asking me if I speak English. I answered them once. I think that was sufficient. This guy is having a leak. And it's time to make my way out of this place. It was interesting. Sun is coming out a little bit hot. And let me go see what else I can find.